Alrighty, guys. So this showdown slate is just god awful, but I have to go over it, so we will go over it. So if you're from the YouTube side of things, make sure to come over to the subreddit DFS Sports. I make posts for NBA, NFL. My username is Shuck_Dash. You can message me, do whatever you want, ask questions. I'll always respond to you guys as fast as I can. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on this Reddit or you can message me on Twitter. Either or, doesn't matter, at Tori Langley 1992. So yeah. Um, if you are interested in in-depth content for NBA, NFL, I will have a link to my Discord down below, where I'll have player pools for cash GPPs, cores for cash GPPs. For NFL, I do write-ups like for a top play section of the slate, just a bunch of other stuff. As long as just a ton of really good people that you can talk to, 24/7 in the Discord. Every sport as well. So, excuse me. A link to that will be on the Reddit or in the comments to the YouTube. So yeah, let's go over this slate. Oh, so my lineup the other night I bubbled in GPP, so it was the Eagles game. The core that I had though for that: Jalen Hurts, Terry McLaurin, Devontae Smith, all three absolutely smashed. I think all three of them were the top three highest scorers on the slate, so it was a good night for a lot of us. Unfortunately, I bubbled because I had A.J. Brown too, and he had 1 fantasy point. So that was pretty fun. But we'll go over the slate. So Tennessee at Green Bay. This slate's just disgusting. Derrick Henry going to be the most popular play on the slate. If you want to fade him, I'm fine with it for GPPs, but obviously it's a very, very scary fade. If you think the Titans go down, I think it's definitely viable to fade him. He could get scripted out of the game a little bit, but more often than not, he's probably going to be in the optimal, especially when you have a game like this. So love Derrick Henry at the top at 11.6K. Doesn't mean he's a must. Like I said, you can definitely fade in GPPs, but Derrick Henry's been great this year, and I don't see that changing, especially on a showdown slate. So, love Derrick Henry if you have any money to fit him in. There isn't any value on this slate, so but still love Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill at 9,600. God, has this guy been terrible? He's just there for me. Like if you want to play him, I'm fine with it. He'll probably score you around 10 to 15 fantasy points. I don't really think he has a ceiling, but his floor is fine, I guess. I am honestly fine with going zero quarterback on the slate. I really, really am. But Tannehill's just there for me. Normally, a quarterback under 10K, I would like quite a bit, but just God, I just don't think he has a ceiling. Now to wide receivers. So if we take a look at the wide receivers, they're just playing a ton of snaps. Westbrook played 48, the possible 62. Treylon Burks had his first game back. He only played 35 of the possible 62. That's expected though. And Robert Woods played 50 of the possible 62. So with the wide receivers, Robert Woods, Keeney, and Treylon Burks, if we get news that Treylon Burks is going to play his normal snaps, I think Treylon Burks is definitely my favorite point per dollar. I think Woods and Keeney are both in play though, but I would definitely prefer to get to Burks, assuming we get news that he is going to play his normal snaps. So if I had to rank the wide receivers point per dollar for me, Burks, Woods, Akini. I think all three are firmly in play though. Good luck trying to figure out which one's going to have a good game though, but I just prefer the discount on Treylon Burks, and I think he's one of the more talented wide receivers on this team. Austin Hooper is the tight end to go to on this team if you are going to go to a tight end. He played, excuse me. I'm just going to close that. He played a 38, the possible 62 snaps, ran around 27 of them. That's what you want from your tight end. You don't want a tight end that's going to be out there blocking. So I think Hooper's a fine play. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but I think he's a fine play. I actually think both the defenses are firmly in play on this slate. I don't think the ownership is going to get too out of hand. So I kind of like both the defenses on this slate. Pretty crazy for me to say, but like as you guys know, it's always going to be an ownership thing for me. If the defenses are going to be popular, I'm not going to be playing them. I think they're terrible plays when they get ownership, but if they're going to be low owned, I do like both the defenses on the slate if they're going to be low owned. I have not looked at projections yet. So if you have projections, if they're low owned, I like them. If they're popular, I want nothing to do with them. Kicker, is Josh Lambo going to be the kicker? I believe so. So kicker always going to be a good value play. Hilliard is their passing down back. Now, if you think the Tennessee Titans go down in this game, I think Hilliard is definitely an interesting GPP play. Now, the other tight ends. So they have been getting the other tight ends more involved, but they are more blocking tight ends. So Kevin Rader played 13 snaps, but only run around on 3 of those. Jeff Swain played 33, but only ran around on 6 of them. And there is one more, I believe. Yeah, Okonkwo played 20 snaps, ran around on 9 of them. So if I am going to play a secondary wide receiver or tight end, let's see, what is the price on Swain? It's probably going to be Jeff Swain at $200. I think he's playable. Obviously it's not a pretty play, but I definitely think he is playable. But let's go on to the Green Bay side of things and talk about this. So Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, probably going to be a 65, 70-ish, 30 snap count. Split between the both. Let's just actually take a look. We can just figure this out. Yeah, Aaron Jones 45 at the possible 65, so that's probably what 70% of the snaps, and then AJ Dillon the rest. Point per dollar, I think I prefer Aaron Jones. Now, Aaron Jones definitely isn't a must, but he's probably going to be extremely popular, as well as Derrick Henry. They're both 2 of the best plays on the slate, so I think you can definitely play both together. I probably wouldn't, though, for GPPs, especially if they're going to get extremely high ownership. I don't like playing 2 running backs in the same game, so you can definitely change that for Showdown, though. There aren't really too many rules that you have to follow for Showdown, even though I think correlation is definitely important. I think you can definitely play Aaron Jones and Derrick Henry together. I personally, for my GPP lineup, might get away from that, but I think you can definitely do it. Aaron Rodgers at 10.4K. I do prefer him to Ryan Tannehill, but he's not a standout play to me. Like I said, I think you can definitely go 0 quarterback on this slate, but I definitely do prefer Aaron Rodgers to Ryan Tannehill. I think let's just look at the snap counts. Alan Lazard played 63 of the possible 64 snaps. Watson played 54 of the possible 64 snaps. And where is he? Sammy Watkins played 21 of the possible 64 snaps. And then Torrey played 12 of the possible 64 snaps. So, I definitely do prefer the Green Bay wide receivers to the Titans wide receivers. Between Allen Lazard and Watson, I definitely do prefer Lazard, especially after a huge game from Watson. I think Watson is going to get all the ownership. So for GPPs, I might prefer Lazard to Watson, but I think both the Green Bay wide receivers definitely do look good. I think AJ Dillon is playable, but wished he was a little bit cheaper. Tanyan at 5.8K, he played. Where are you, Tanyan? 41 of the possible 63 snaps. I think he's a fine option, just there for me. At 5.8K, he's not going to project well. I think he's just fine. Sammy Watkins, just complete dust, but if you want to play him, go for it. There isn't a lot of value on the slate. Keep in mind that is Randall Cobb? Keep an eye on that, but Watkins is playable. Mason Crosby going to be a good value. There is no value on the slate, so I do really like both the kickers. Same thing with the defense. If they're going to be low owned, I like them. If they're going to be popular, I want nothing to do with them. Torrey did play. How many snaps did he play? He played 12 snaps, ran around on 8 of those. If you want to consider it, be my guest. I think he's playable. And then Mercedes Lewis would be the guy that I would take a shot on of these cheap guys. He played 37 snaps, only ran around on 7 of them, but I don't think there's anything else that really, really stands out to me. I think if I was taking a shot on one of these mid-price guys, it would be Mercedes Lewis. Um, so yeah, I think that's it, guys. I hope you guys had a good night, and I will talk to you guys later.